What is up, guys? It's Glumboy, and today I'm gonna be making a new jazz type beat. And before I even break down this beat, you guys should definitely tap in and show love to Amir and Venny. Go cop their kits, go listen to their music, go support them. But yeah, let's get right to it. So for the chords, I actually waved out a one-shot of my favorite preset from Stage 73 called Attacked. And my thought process behind making this chord progression was really just like I was making some Plug stuff, you know? Except I added some chords right here at the end, and I added some slide notes, really emulating that Venny sound. So then I went ahead and layered those keys with another preset that I use way too much called Heavenly Worship at a Percussion Platinum 2. I'm immediately looking to give this melody some bounce, right? So I go over to Xenology and I chose this pop synth mallet preset. And for this melody, I just wanted to give it some bounce, so I did something really simple and catchy. So after figuring out the chords and the counter, I went ahead and moved on to the lead, and I chose this Synthwave SY Savvy X lead preset from VK1 Viking Synthesizer. This VST is actually free and has a bunch of weird, like, funky type sounds. So again, I tried not to overthink it, and I just went for something that was clean and catchy and repetitive. And lastly, I just decided to add this little marimba for some extra bounce. And at that point, we really only had like 4 sounds playing, but it still sounds full and bright and like thick. You never want to overthink this type of beat. And moving on to maybe the most important part of these beats is the drums. Went ahead and started out with the hi-hat and the clap like I always do. And I went ahead and placed this hi-hat at every end of the bar just to give it like a stuttery type feel. And for the snap, I really just added a few to sauce it up at the end. So from there, I just added a bunch of perks and tried to fill in all the space. And I really just tried to put them in places where it would just sound good and complement everything that we already have going on. And from there, we're pretty much done. We really don't have to do a lot with these type of beats. You just got to make it clean, smooth, and simple. And so I went ahead and chose the hardest 808 out of my kit, which is the Glum Cook 808. And then from there, we could just add a pattern that complements all the drum sounds we have and plays to the root note of the chords. Here's how all the drums sound. Super simple, man. So let's quickly go over the mixing before I show you guys the full beat. For the chords, I always try to take out a bunch of lows and a bunch of those low mids, because especially with tine sounds, there's a bunch of harsh frequencies in that area. So we got the Fab filter doing just that, and then I added another EQ doing the same thing, and then I actually put on this plugin called Dada Life Endless Smile. It gave it like a reverb and delay type sound, but I liked how it sounded, so I kept it on there. And then of course, I put this on all my chords. It just sounds so good. It's TAL Chorus LX. It's a free plugin. And then I also stereo separated my chords a little bit to the left just to give it some room in the mix. Moving on, we can add that muted mallet. And for this one, I use this free FL Studio plugin called Effector with the stereo effect on. And then I use this other VST called Pancake, which basically just moves the sound from your left ear to your right real quick. And then for that main lead, I added an EQ with a low cut and a fruity phaser with the preset Good Old on. And here's where it gets interesting. I have this plugin from Waves called GT Stomp, which is basically like a channel rack thing where you can open up all these different plugins and effects. And then I went ahead and chose the wah wah preset that my boy Mon put me onto, right? Here's how it sounds without the wah. And here's how it sounds with the wah effect on. I feel like it just gives it a little bit more character, you know? And then for this last EQ, I actually chose to record an automation while I was sifting through the frequencies like this. And it gave it a really cool sound. Take a listen. And that's really about all I do for my mixing, man. If your sound selection is on point and you're choosing melodies that work well together, you really don't need to do a bunch of mixing. But with that being said, let's take a listen to the full beat. And that's about it for this beat, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Always fun making these type of beats, man. They're just so damn bouncy. Make sure to go tap in with Venny and Amir. I'll leave a link to their Instagrams in the description, and let me know what I should do in the next video. See you guys. Peace.